What's up everyone, welcome back. Today we're playing Angrath, the Flame Chained in Historic Brawl. Angrath is a 5 mana Rakdos Planeswalker, comes down to 4 loyalty. +1, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. -3, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step if it has mana value 3 or less. And then the -8, each opponent loses life equal to the number of the cards in their graveyard. So, Angrath is definitely a Rakdos commander that sort of wants you to make your opponents discard, right? It's +1 makes them discard and loses life. Kind of the essence of Rakdos as a whole, discard and life loss. So we have a Rakdos control shell. Little side note, Angrath, the way I built this deck, Angrath is a mid-game boost / win con, but we don't need Angrath to win. And I find decks like this one where we don't depend on our commander to be the engine of the deck that oftentimes are successful. Now we'll find out when we play the games, but I did one with Valky that was very similar to this build, and it did really well. I've done one with Maestro, is that his name? The Grixis commander out of New Capenna. So these decks that like have a powerful commander that don't require it to ever come down to still win, like the deck is still solid even if this never comes down, are I find really good in Historic Brawl. But Angrath does come down and provides us a ton of value, especially because we can gain control of their best creature, or at least one with mana value 3 or less, if we wanted to sacrifice itself. Or we can use some of our effects like Kazul's Fury to sacrifice it. We have the journal in here, so we can sacrifice and draw cards off the cards we steal. And we have a couple of other small sacrifice effects. What is it? Diabolic Intent's another one. So we have a way of taking our opponent's stuff and turning it into value. Even if we make them block with their own creature, it's already value. The rest of the deck is exactly what you'd expect out of Rakdos. It's a lot of discard and removal, stealing their stuff, drawing cards, good Rakdos cards, good mono black cards, good mono red cards. So, again, Rakdos control, heavy discard theme, Planeswalker payoff, including our commander. Small little side note, the new fetchable lands, Raucous Theater. I think these are going to be sneaky good. They were kind of talked down in the preview, like, oh, Surveil on their ETB, and they come into play tapped. Who cares? But I think a Surveil trigger is actually really good, especially off of a fetch of a fetch land, right? Go get this. It comes into play tapped, but you get to Surveil, which is essentially like determining if you want to keep the top card of your, library on top or put in your graveyard. And our deck kind of has some stuff that we want in the graveyard, like Kroxa. Putting Kroxa in the graveyard would be great. So anyway, we'll find out together if those lands are good. If you like this kind of content, subscribe if it's your first time watching. Thanks for tuning in. All right. I haven't seen anyone else build an Angrath deck. People who are fans of the channel know that I love Rakdos. It's my favorite guild. So I always look for fun Rakdos builds. This one will be a tough one, Asika, because it's a enchantment, and that is one of the weaknesses of Rakdos. It doesn't deal with enchantments very well. Duress is good against them. We can maybe take away some of their ramp, which helps them fix their mana. They get to go first, which is a bummer. Bone Crusher is good. We don't have any card draw. We just have a way to take something out of their hand, a way to wipe the board. If Prismatic Bridge comes down, it's pretty bad. I think we got to mulligan this. This is not great. This is better. Necropotence can really get us out of a jam. Okay. Alright. We don't have triple black because Phyrexian Tower only taps for colorless unless we sacrifice a creature, which of course is for their creature, although this is a legendary enchantment. I guess we just... Well, there's an argument for this. Because it's the tap land. Let's just get it out of the way. We don't have anything to do on turn 1 anyway. Okay, dig up. They're just going to mana fix, so we might as well just go and get the Surveil land. We're not going to have anything else to do. Keep the Blood Crypt in the deck. Delicate Awakening. I think we keep. That's a good card. It could give us a whole brand new hand. They're gonna make me mill, or they mill themselves. I can't remember. Lose life. Yeah, no thanks. Your tally can stay in the graveyard. Okay. We'll hold up Soul Shatter and Bone Crusher. Next turn we can have Necropotence down. Treasure Map. Resolve. Resolve. Do they have all their mana? It looks like they're definitely close. Okay. Took a lot of life there. I guess we just Bone Crush them, right? Innocent Blood's nice. It really turns off Necropotence though, unless we start gaining some life. So let's see what they do this turn. I'm probably just going to play the Prismatic Bridge. We do have ways of removing it in the deck, just not a lot. There's some black cards like Evoke Despair. Huh. Okay, so what did they discard? Okay. So they didn't have the land, now they do. They're gonna scry, yeah. Eventually make more treasures. So we can't take the life here, we gotta give them the cards. Resolve. Okay. Well, they didn't give us anything to target with those. We can blow up their thing. We can just start playing Angrath. I mean, it's on an empty board, right? Do you have a counter spell? No? Okay.
Never seen water burn? No fire, no steel.
Treasure map. Make a bunch of treasures. Okay. I mean, if they have a big hasty creature, it's GG. Okay. Prismatic Bridge, which doesn't trigger till their upkeep. So we do have a little time, or we have one turn cycle, I guess, to draw a card that solves this problem. We don't draw it. Plus.
No fire, no steel.
Rhystic Study. Wish this was instant speed. Yeah, Yeah, I guess we just gotta hold up Soul Shatter, right? Because it hits Planeswalkers. It gives us a little bit more time. This is an upkeep trigger, right? Yeah, upkeep trigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can still hold up our whole hand. Alright. So let's see what they do here. Okay, Elish Norn. Yep, it's a good one. Kaya. Well, this can't attack. They're gonna make me lose 3 life, probably. They can't touch my Angrath with that. We could steal this and kill their Kaya, right? Well, not kill it, but okay.
I was expecting a more
Yeah, it makes
impressive
sense. We're really low on life.
enemy. Just give up already.
We do have Shieldred in the deck and some other stuff to gain life back, but we just haven't drawn it yet. Okay, Signet. Sure. Resolve. Definitely not going to take the life loss here. Draw a card. Okay, so this is what we do. My turn. Land is nice. I'll take that.
Your crew for my freedom? A fair price.
Are you going to blow it up? Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay, Wormcoil Engine. It's a pretty good one. So they're a creature deck, which is... Well, I guess it's both, right? Okay. We could steal their Titan for a couple turns. Okay, they're gonna gain a bunch of life. We don't have a choice. Not exactly what we need here. We could -3 Angrath and sack it to Phyrexian Tower, whatever we steal. Then we could use the mana to get a Crowan War and steal their Titan. That might be the only way here. This has lifelink as well. So maybe we steal this for the long haul and Angrath or Titan and sack it for mana? Okay. Well, let me read this card. Target. Yeah, okay.
Best start thinking fast.
Angrath, you've done your job.
A fair price.
So we can sack this for 2, and then we'd have 3 mana. So we can get rid of their card draw. I mean, that's decent, right? Do we have a creature card in our graveyard? Oh, Bone Crusher. Ooh, Bone Crusher. Or we can make them discard a card. It sucks because they have the Prismatic Bridge, so they have, like, eternal card draw. I think we're gonna go for discard a card. Try to get rid of their. They have too much value on the battlefield. We might need this, but it's a land. We can't miss land drops. Free creature. Toxrill at the end step of the slime counter. Sure. Okay, they can turn into a treasure, and then they can kill me. Cool. GG. Yeah, again, Prismatic Bridge, you know, one of the top decks in the format, and it's an enchantment. And our deck has 1 or 2, maybe 3 answers for enchantments, but Rakdos doesn't deal with enchantments very well, so it's essentially like we either draw our enchantment removal, and they don't have enough mana to replay the Prismatic Bridge, which they definitely did, or we just kind of lose because it's free value for them every turn. So it, you know, we had like a less than 10% chance of winning that game. I've done it before, but you know, I played it out more for to show how the deck works than to really like steal that win. Sometimes the probabilities are just against you. But I think we at least warmed up the deck and showcased, you know, how it's supposed to work. You can imagine, like, if that deck didn't have the, like, it was the same exact board state, except they just didn't have the Prismatic Bridge, they would have been in a really tough spot, right? But what are you gonna do? Alright, Alayla. Good, probably, I've seen this as a fairy build, which I think is kind of whack. It should be an artifact build, because that would be very, very powerful, but we'll find out. We can get a creature out of their hand. We can waste not them. We don't have black mana, though. So we got a mulligan. They get to go first again. We have black. Okay. Or not. Opponent's scared. So, yeah, I mean, that deck is... Well, first of all, artifact decks are just very powerful. But that deck, I've seen it. I actually don't think I've ever played it on Arena as an artifact deck. But that's how, if you're thinking of building an Alayla deck, that's how you should build it. It's very, very powerful as an artifact deck. It's like alright as a fairy tribal deck, but that's what people tend to build them as. Okay, Balmor is like a, aggro deck, so we get to go first, which is nice. We have removal, way to get in their hand, both our colors, good blocker. Yep. What? Oh my god, I clicked the wrong... Oh my god. I meant to click this card, not this card. Awesome. Well, we're keeping that in the video because I'm not a pussy. Alright. Yeah, yeah. Draw a card. This is better. The other one has flashback, so making them discard is kind of meh. We still have 2 removal spells, so I didn't like totally fuck myself, but I definitely misplayed pretty hard. Pretty hard. What does this do? Alchemy card. Do I even need to read it? Should we just kill it? At the beginning of your combat main phase, you may discard a card. If you do, seek a card with greater mana value and exile until you're... I mean, yeah. Let's just fucking get rid of this bullshit. Fires of Invention. I hope we don't have to play this as a land, but we might have to. Balmore? No. Flame Breather. Swift Spear. Attack me for 1. Okay. We're doing it. This is instant speed, right? Yeah. Kill their commander. Their deck doesn't really do anything with other commander. I think we just hold up Hagramalling and get them. Now there is an argument to just hold this so we can get our Goldspan Dragon down, because I don't really think they have a way of dealing with that. And Angrath basically makes them sack anything in their deck. That's a tough call. Wait, does this have haste? It doesn't, but are they giving it haste? I wish I could read these. Target creature gets and gains haste. Yeah, okay. So, how about we don't? They still will get all these triggers. But now the commander costs 4. Now we just need a land. Technically a land. Okay, they're probably going to replay their commander, and that's it. Then we can cast Angrath and steal it, or Goldspan Dragon and create some treasures. We gain life back with Interplanar Beacon. We're at like a semi-healthy life total. Delver, okay. Sure. Gains haste, maybe? Okay. Like I said, it's an Is It aggro deck. So a board wipe would be cool too. Smoldering Egg, that's a nice blocker. We have a lot of options here. They're getting low on cards. They already flashed that back. We can Angrath, and they have to attack Angrath, right? Gain a life. We can Goldspan Dragon, create treasures, and then play the Smoldering Egg. Yeah, that's what we do. Because this counts for double mana now. Because of Goldspan. So we just got a 2-for-1. Play Balmore. Yep. Okay. What's either 1 mana red? Okay, it gains haste. Let's block the biggest thing. We take... Are we just dead? No, not quite. Okay, well, awkward Bloodstained Mire on 1 life. We almost have to take the Flame Breather, right? But then they just attack us for 1 next turn. Oh no, we gain a life from Interplanar Beacon, so we're not technically dead. Okay. I mean, we are kind of, based on the way their deck works, but this is our only play. What does their commander say again? Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get plus and gain trample. Yeah. I mean, but it has to be this, because this literally does 1 damage to us, and then we would let 1 damage through. At least if we kill this, we have a chance of blocking something. Right? No? I don't know. We can make them discard a card. And hope they don't draw a card. That seems kind of weak. We can make them sack their commander. and hope they don't draw an instant or sorcery, but that's their whole deck. And we're about to run out of time. I don't know. I don't know what the right play is here, but I'm just gonna make them.
Your crew for
I'm just gonna make them figure it out.
a fair price.
At least they aren't gonna pump their team. There's a chance that maybe one of these guys. Oh, there's an instant sorcery, so they win the game. Because all they gotta do is cast it as an instant sorcery. Damage. Yep. And then they can cast the other thing, and we're dead. Cool. Maybe should have mulliganed to a hand with a Wrath, because really, if you Wrath that deck once, it just loses. So probably should have mulliganed to a better hand. That's on me. Yeah, I mean, I was debating whether to take the Flame Breather or not, but I think no matter what, we were dead there, because if we left Balmor on the field, we were dead. Yeah, I don't think there was any way for us to get out of there. Oh, Rakdos versus Rakdos, although this is if it's built right, this is a better Rakdos deck. It's alright. We could do better than that. Yeah, Phyrexian Arena is nice. We get to go first. Oh, let's just get you out of the way. Scry. Yeah, we'll keep a Mind Spike. Why don't we go fix our mana? Get double black, so we can do Phyrexian Arena next turn. That's a lot of cards. Bedevil, Cruelty of Gix. Go for the Throat, Mishra's Desk. Bedevil. Hits our commander. They probably kept that hand because this card hits their commander. Or hits our commander, rather. Yeah, let's start drawing cards. Again, they're Rakdos, just like us, so they don't have a lot of ways of interacting with enchantments. They have Valky, so they can take the egg if they want. Sure. Do they not have lands? We're totally fine with that. Start drawing multiple cards a turn. We can make them sack their Valky, which is pretty funny. Divest and Despise hit creatures and or planeswalkers. This hits an artifact. We could destroy their creature. We didn't hit a land, which is pretty awkward. Is there anything that helps us draw? Not really. Why don't we... This doesn't count for black. This is colorless. So we have to be careful here. We want to save this for their commander. We don't really care if they flip this, right? Not really. So maybe we just double hit them with discard spells? Nothing. No creatures either, huh? Okay. Well then never mind. No planeswalkers either. So, yeah, we'll just pass on through. We'll draw into more lands. We just need to not fall behind. Feed the... Of course, they have the one answer in their deck for an enchantment. Nice. Hit me for 2, sure. Cling to dust. Technically card draw. Okay, well. Let's get my egg back. Okay. That did nothing except waste your mana. Prosper. Start the engine. A fucking land would be sick, deck. At least now they don't get a treasure from this. But they get it back. Finally. Don't really have... This is pretty bad. But I guess we just play the egg. And... Well, we can draw with this, so I think that's what we gotta do. We gotta hit lands. They're gonna exile a bunch of stuff? Or one card? Okay. Now, Prosper's doing the Prosper thing. They have a ton of mana. What are they gonna do with it? If they want to kill this egg, that's totally fine with me. That is not something I really care that much about. Cool. More ramp for them. That. That's nice. It's a little awkward on one red source and not enough to kill their board state, but sure. Another red source. A tapped red source, sure. Sure. We're gonna take 3 next turn. Yeah, I mean that's fine to draw another card. And or gain life. We're okay on life right now. They don't have anything back-breaking in their hand that I can see. I mean, this can go get anything, but we're definitely in a worse board state than them, obviously, but we're not like out of the game yet. Target player. Yeah, I guess you get the Spiteful Banditry, right? But there's nothing I can do about it. So, we definitely don't want to do this before this. Why would you do that? It has escape. You just help me out. I don't know. Okay. Pass. Attack for 2. Okay. I could have no, I couldn't have. Never mind. I needed 1 more mana to animate the Barons and kill that. But then it would have killed my Barons too, so it would have been a pretty awful trade. Choose 5. Okay. The Masters. Well, I could wipe their board. They have one card in hand, one mystery card. I mean, if they went and got a scam card, good for them. You know, they're just a good Magic player. Not a scam card. They are going to draw cards off of Deadly Dispute. I'll make a treasure here. And then we'll use that treasure to look in their hand. Yeah, get out of here. Alchemy cards. Search your library for a card. So hopefully we can do the Angrath, steal a creature of theirs, Diabolic Intent it. That would be funny. Definitely help us out too. Gold span, yeah, good for them. Always enough to replay Prosper because they make so many treasures. Yep, Prosper doing the Prosper thing. They somehow still have 7 mana left over. Bank Job makes them more treasures, more card advantage. Murderous Rider. Well, I mean, we can kill their commander. Gotta do it. We can do this and take their Murderous Rider. Is that even worth it? I mean, it's got lifelink. We can do this and take their Goldspan Dragon and do nothing. We wouldn't have enough to Diabolic Intent it. We can do nothing, take 6 next turn and cling to dust and try to draw an answer. Their commander now costs 10, which they can still easily pay for. What is this? Reanimate a creature card from a graveyard? Yeah. We can cling to dust it in response. Alright. We'll let them choose the target card. Ox of Agonis, huh? Or they're thinking about it. That would make them discard their hand and draw... what? Draw 3? Come on, Arena, let me select it. Gain 3 life. Resolve. Alright. We're still looking down the shotgun barrel, but here we are. If they try to draw cards, we can Orcish Bowmaster ambush them, but because this is the neutered version of Orcish Bowmasters, not the actually good version that they printed. Make more treasures. Make a treasure. Yep. Oh, perfect. It can fire off their thing. That's fine. Yep. Then they gotta discard 2. They are running out of resources. If we get a board wipe, it's not very good for them. Yeah, if we draw a board wipe, and I think any board wipe in our deck will do, like, literally any of them. Well, now they got a Planeswalker, so. But, burn down the house would be especially nice right now. Yeah, no. Our deck can't do that. Yeah, I think we're dead no matter what we do. Theme of this evening. Yeah, we're dead no matter what we do. Cool. Let's just get in the next game. I guess we're in Hell Queue because we're playing all the best decks. We played Prismatic Bridge, then we played the Balmor deck, which I don't know if I consider that Hell Queue, but it's definitely a good aggro deck. And then we played Prosper, which is definitely Hell Queue. So let's see if we get like a comparable commander to ours, because I feel like Angrath is not is not a Hell Queue commander. It's just not, you know? But here we are in Hell Queue. Historic Brawl is such a fun format, except for the awful matchmaker. It really does put a damper on some pretty cool builds, because you'll build something kind of fun and janky, and then they'll put you in Hell Queue, and it's like, why? Why are we in this queue? Yep, here's another Hell Queue commander. This is an aggro Boros deck. Yeah, this does it, but actually not really, because this gets a bunch of +1/+1 counters. This is all essentially too slow, and they get to go first. I don't even want to play this game. We'll go into the next one. So, yeah, if we get another Hell Queue commander, I don't know if Ragavan's another Hell Queue commander. We'll try this one, though. I mean, Ragavan's very all or nothing. So we at least get to go first. This hand sucks against Ragavan. We need instant speed removal. This also sucks against Ragavan. Especially if they're the land destruction version. Innocent Blood. Non-instant speed removal. Sick. Instant speed removal. Better. Board wipe for all their stuff. Sure. We have both our colors. We get to go first. That's our only saving grace here. So what do we put back? Probably this. It's not really relevant in the early game. We'll do this so we have Innocent Blood next turn if they play Ragavan turn 1, which they always do. Yep. Bye. Okay, we need to draw another black source so we can bedevil. I think they can still dash it in for 2, if I remember correctly. No? Yeah. We do have another black source. It's tapped though. Okay. If they play Ragavan here, which they're gonna, we can Ritual Sit next turn and wipe up their board. Oh, no, they're not. They're not. Weird. Okay. Professional Face Breaker. Why wouldn't you play that before? You would have gotten a treasure token. Or dashed Ragavan. Okay, I don't know. Maybe they were worried about removal because I was holding up mana? Yeah? If they, hit me with Ragavan, it is what it is, but we can always Angrath it if they play it straight up, which they do. Awkward. We can't do everything we want here, but we can bedevil it. We just can't Mind Stone and bedevil it because of the casting cost. We'll just pass through, see what they do. So far they haven't shown any land destruction. Okay. Ring tempts you. Make Ragavan the ring bearer. Let's let them go to combat. Okay. Die, monkey. We draw a land, it's gonna be pretty nice. Sweet. Okay. So let's go get Blood Crypt. Pay the 2. We can do this and the 1 ring, which means I don't think they get a Ragavan trigger from hitting us with this down. And if they play Ragavan and we draw another land, then we can Angrath and Diabolic Intent. Okay, they don't go that route. What does this do? Whenever a pirate you control attacks, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Create a treasure weapon. Target creature can't block. I guess I'll top card your library. This is a pirate, right? Yeah. Okay. This is a 3 mana. Yeah. I mean, we can make them. We could make them sack it. They could then dash in Ragavan and get rid of this. Hold on. Let's be smart. Do this first. So do we just exile this? This is also odd if they play it. We can Angrath and create a treasure. I think that's worth it.
Please, run your crew for my freedom. A fair price.
So they can dash Ragavan and get rid of Angrath, but then I think we can... Okay. Wow, do we have all non-basic lands? We do, except for this treasure.
The fire's out, but the embers...
The treasure is keeping us alive. But we can draw out of it with the 1 ring. We just gotta draw into a basic... We just gotta draw into a basic. This treasure is very important. Oh my goodness. We can still play Angrath, but then we don't have anything else. So we gotta draw out of this. Thankfully we have the 1 ring down. Yeah, we're gonna take some damage here. Soul Shatter doesn't do it. Bazooka Bog will just turn into a mountain, right? But I guess it's better than nothing. And we can hold up Bone Crusher for this, then play it next turn. We gotta save that treasure. We do not. This is just a mountain, right? Yeah. Oof. Good Blood Moon. Okay. We do have red cards in the deck. We are a half red deck, so it doesn't completely hose us. It's just, gets a little scary. Oh, they're gonna get rid of the 1 ring? You can absolutely do that. I would have gotten rid of this if I were them. I guess the One Ring draws us out of it, but I mean, we're taking a ton of damage to get into that board state. Getting your end step to its owner's hand. Okay. I guess that's as good of a target as any. Pass. My turn. Shieldred, awkward, double black. Play this on red. We could Diabolic Intent to go get a swamp. But then we're in the same situation because we had to use our black source to go get a black source. So, not a great solution. We can always crack Mind Stone to draw a card. In fact, I might do that this turn. Zorn, Pass. Okay. Hopefully a black source. Well, hopefully a basic black land. Nope. Oh, we did it. Okay. Okay. How many cards do they have in their graveyard? 7. We only need one black source to... Yeah. Alright, we did it. Yes, I know. Hopefully they don't have land destruction. Most land destruction doesn't hit basics, but some of it does. It has 5 toughness, which is pretty tough for a red deck. Mono. Oh, is that it? Wait, do I have lethal here? No. No, I don't have lethal. So we can get in their hand. We can also flip Shieldred after I attack with it, right? What does this do? For each opponent, destroy up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Each opponent discards 3 cards and mills 3 cards. That's pretty good. And they have 8, so I can activate it. Next turn we have lethal if I just Kazul's Fury them. So I can do this and make them discard, right? I can do this and make sure that we can keep up the defenses with Soul Shatter. Yeah, I think that's what we gotta do. They're in red, they might have a hasty creature. It's not what I want to do. I want to play Angrath, but I think we gotta keep up Soul Shatter. If we weren't Blood Mooned, I'd have more options. I could Inquisition them and do a bunch of other stuff, but since we only have 1 black source, I gotta use it for the best option, right? Okay, so here's Ragavan. Bye, Ragavan. That's your whole turn. Bye. Okay. Whew. Survive in the Blood Moon. Survive in the Blood Moon. So what I was going to do was attack with these 2, get them down to 8. Kazul's Fury, one of these, it would have done damage equal to one of their power directly to their face. So that would have done an extra 4 and they would have died. There is also the argument for Angrath because it makes them lose 2 life, which is totally valid, right? But my worry was that if I play Angrath and I'm tapped out and I have no black source, and all of a sudden they draw, you know, I don't know, some type of hasty creature, and they also have a spell, and they somehow can get me down from 10. I mean, of course it's unlikely, but having Soul Shatter in my hand, like, basically guarantees that can't happen. If I play Angrath, and I plus Angrath and get them down to 8, and then I have lethal on board, there is still the chance that they could rip something off the top and kill me with it, right? So I just took the safer route. But playing Angrath and plussing to get them down to 8 is not wrong. It's just less safe. So I was tired of losing a lot of games, so I went the safe route. You can yell at me in the comments, but we won the game. Okay, let's do a deck review. So I really like this deck. It's right up my alley. Like I said, I love Rakdos. It's just unfortunate that Angrath is in Hell Queue for some reason. I've been running across this more and more recently. I'm not really sure what the formula for putting a deck in Hell Queue is or isn't. Some people say it's based off the number of rares and mythics you have in the deck. I kind of don't subscribe to that logic because I've played all different kinds of decks on this channel, and there's a very concrete theme that forms once you've played hundreds and hundreds of historic Brawl games. And a lot of the times, like if I'm building a Uro deck, right, top tier Simic, and then I build like I just did an Azuri deck, which is like a B tier Simic deck, both Simic decks. There's lots of similar cards in those decks, right? Because they're in Simic and you're in Historic Brawl, and so let's just say 70% of them are the same, right? And then 30% are different because of the theme of the deck. Well, if the matchmaker put you in Hell Queue based on the mythics and rares, well, you know, it's basically the same number of mythics and rares in each of those decks. The only difference is the commander, right? Looking at it from a, you know, just purely based on mythics and rares standpoint. So I don't think that's the case. I really do think it's based off the commander. That has been my experience. I could be wrong. It could be based off the commander, maybe some other factors. Who knows? But it is a bummer because we get cool decks like this, or, you know, some other decks I've played, and it's just random. Like, the cards are kind of janky, and then you'll just be thrown into Hell Queue, and it's like, well, I can't compete against these other top tier decks. You know, that'd be like going to a modern pro tour with your Pauper deck, you know, although low key some Pauper decks are pretty tight, but you know what I mean? Like you'd be at an automatic disadvantage, right? So it's unfortunate when that happens, and so I don't really want to critique the deck, saying that the deck needs to be fixed, because the deck is like filled with awesome cards. There's nothing wrong with the card selection here. It's just they put this card in Hell Queue, and so it's just not as powerful as the other decks that run amok in that queue. You know, it's not better than Rusko. It's not better than Prismatic Bridge. It's not better than, you know, Prosper. That's the word I'm looking for. It's just not, you know. Those are all the best decks of their colors. Prosper is the best Rakdos commander. Prismatic Bridge is probably the best 5-color deck, right? Balmor, it's up there as far as the best Izzet deck, right? So, you know, like I've said before, I'm trying to think of the deck I played recently. What was it? It was the Golgari deck. I'm blanking. I can picture the art, but I'm blanking on the card. But it's the 3-mana Golgari wolf thing that kind of like board wipes, you know, all non-land permanents and exiles them. Serulf, that's the one. Serulf. So that's a B tier commander. Really fun deck. Awesome. Probably really fun in commander too. But every game I played was in Hell Queue, and it was like, well, like this deck is like janky fun Golgari, you know? It's not like top tier sweaty, you know? So anyway, I digress. The deck's great. Just know that if you build this deck, Angrath is in Hell Queue, and you're going to be in Hell Queue the entire time. So I would base, you know, your call on whether you want to crack this deck or not based on whether you want to sit through Hell Queue. Again, subject to change. I've seen cards like Korvold, for example, the Jund commander, go from being a Hell Queue commander to being like kind of A tier, high B tier as far as the other decks you play. So this card may not be forever stuck in Hell Queue, but at least right now, as of, you know, February 2024, it is in Hell Queue. So, anyway, thanks for watching. I definitely could have played better in some of those games. I'm not blaming those misplays on the deck, but you could see. I think you could see that in a lot of those decks or a lot of those games that I lost. Even if I had played a little bit better, I think we still would have lost, right? I think we could both agree on that. So maybe there's a narrow chance that I might have won one of those games with better decision making, but it would have been real narrow. So I'm not really gonna chop that up to anything other than being stuck in hell queue, like I've been saying. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to build cool Rakdos decks / other kinds of decks and try out cards. But when I get stuck in hell queue, I'm not gonna be shy about saying that's the reason why the deck is underperforming. The deck is great. This is a really fun deck. I just wish it was in like the A to B tier, and then I think we'd really be able to rack up some wins. But otherwise, I had fun. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.